Here's one from the archive. 21309. NASA Apollo Saturn V rocket. Took the first crew to the moon in 1969, and of course it would be 1969 pieces, wouldn't it? Issued in June 17. It's one of the very few models that I've kept completed. It's magnificent. You can't say anything else. 1 metre tall, 3 or 4 separate stages that all come apart, detail inside, fantastic. You know what I mean? You've got to have a look for this online. It's well worthy of the build. When I first made it, I thought, oh, it's just going to be a black and white tube, but building it and the intricacy inside to hold it all together, once you know it's there, it's fantastic. And there's interaction with it, where the different stages come apart. So we'll look at that. Have a look at the showcase, a few slides coming up, see what's involved in the box and the kit, and then we'll do a little review afterwards. Okay, enjoy. Now then, you're alright. There's one Lego model I was going to build. It's this baby, the Lego NASA Apollo Saturn V rocket. The quintessential rocket for modern times, I think. Never mind your space shuttles and your Soyuz. It's the Apollo that took the crew to the moon. Model number 21309. Decent book you get with it. Good bit of history in the first few pages about the mission and the stages, and also about the team that planned the design of the model. 180 pages in total, usual parts, bit at the back, and I think it's 302 stages, 303 for the model, and there's another 35 stages after that, where you've got a little model of the lunar lander on the moon surface, a little model of the splashdown vehicle in the sea, and 3 little holding carriages that lets you display the rocket horizontally if you want to do. But for me, it's always going to be vertical. When I read that it was 1 metre high, that's me, I'm having that. So let's break it down and have a look at it. Stage 1, first bit of the build, and it's built in 5 parts, this model, and as it is in the real life rocket itself. So this is stage 1. We build it in 2 parts approximately for this complete stage, right down to the 5 engines and the fins. Good bit of detailing at the bottom there. You know, it's good where you've got a model that puts detail in the parts that you don't see, and certainly inside between these 2 parts, when you're building it, it looks like a satellite almost. You think, well, what's the satellite in the middle? But it's not. It's just the workings of the model that's holding all the outer parts together and then joining these 2 sections together. It's really good. And when I started building it, you think, I want to build it, but it's just going to be a white tube. But I didn't think like that, because of all the stuff that you don't see inside and how it's made up in the engineering. That's what makes Lego interesting for me. And then I'm just always constantly thinking about Apollo missions, and you know, looking up on the moon and thinking, somebody's been up there. When's it my turn? Well, I'm still waiting. So that's stage 1. Let's have a look at stage 2. Slightly smaller, this one. So this is where it would separate out in the mission, and again, 5 smaller rockets would propel it on its way. And this is a fairly weighty model, this as well, without knowing exactly. Each of these do weigh quite a bit, and again a bit more complicated inner workings. And you can see these little catches, and that's where each part in turn clips onto the previous one to hold it steady. So yeah, stage 2. Okay, let's have a look at stage 3. So stage 3 separates from stage 2, as it would in the mission itself. Getting further into space now, need less power, so just the one engine there and the nice little small compact section. It is interesting to see how they put all these parts together. You know, you think it's just to, but something's got to hold them all together on the inside, and it is really interesting. Just a straightforward capping on this one, stage 3. And then the last stage to the top of the rocket, stage 4, is this one. This has your coned area where your lunar module would sit, and it sits in the rocket itself, holds that. And the grey area is the service module of the rocket. And then this little coned area at the top, this white piece, that's your command module. I mean, in relation to the rocket itself, stage 1, you can see how small that the command module actually was. And then you've got your spire at the top. This was also an escape system, which I didn't know until I'd done the model. So, and the last piece is your little lunar module here. You can put this separate on your little moon surface plate with a couple of astronauts and a little flag, but I left them in the space bag because this needs to go where it should be, and it slots just inside here where it would be stood normally, yeah, on the mission itself. And so when you put it all together, it just slots in, and then each in turn, 3 into 2, 2 into 1, and you've got your 1 metre high model. So it's worth hunting out this one just for the historic significance of this kit. Apollo Saturn V, you can't beat it, the rocket. So let's put it all together and send it back off into space. Catch up soon.
20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.